Now, this is how you handle woke reporters. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Todd Bowles, the head coach of the NFL football team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, responding to questions about being one of the only black head coaches in the league. Now, as of right now, I think there are 3.5 black NFL football head coaches. You have Todd Bowles of the Buccaneers, Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Lovie Smith of the Houston Texans, and then Mike McDaniel of the Miami Dolphins. He's not all the way black. He's biracial. So there's your 3.5 right there. Now, a lot of people think that this is a problem because there are so many black men in the NFL as far as on the field talent, but so few black men in the head coaching department. Surely there must be racism at foot. You have racist owners. They hate black men. They don't want to see them in leadership roles, all this, that, and the third. That is the prevailing thought from a lot of people on the left, a lot of your white liberals, a lot of your wokesters, your pro-black, blackity, black. But Todd Bowles was asked about this, and his response is not what they wanted. Now, before I go any further, let's roll the clip. And, of course, this clip will be in the description if you want to see it and hear it without my commentary. But let's go ahead and roll it.
You and Mike Tomlin are two of the few black head coaches in the league. I wonder what your relationship is like with them and your thoughts on Steve Wilks joining that fold.
I have a very good relationship with Tomlin. We don't look at what color we are when we coach against each other. We just know each other. I have a lot of very good white friends that coach in this league as well, and I don't think it's a big deal as far as us being coaching against each other. I think it's normal. Wilks got an opportunity to do a good job. Hopefully he does it. And we coach ball. We don't look at color.
But you also understand that representation matters too, right? And that when young aspiring coaches or even football players, they see you guys, they see someone that looks like them, maybe grew up like them, that has to mean something.
Well,
let's pause right there just for one moment. He answered the question perfectly the first time, but that was not a satisfactory response. So then they had to double down and ask it again and really just make him say the quote unquote right thing. But let's hear his response. Let's back up a little bit so we don't get too far ahead.
That has to mean something.
Well, when you say you see you guys and look like them and grow up like them, means that we're oddballs to begin with. And I think the minute you guys stop making a big deal about it, everybody else will as well.
You and Mike Tomlin.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. Shout out to my man Todd Bowles. Hey, that was perfectly said. We need more guys to come out and just speak like this because that is the appropriate answer. It's like, look, I'm an NFL head coach. We're not worried about this whole color issue. It's y'all that are worried about the color issue, meaning the mainstream media, the reporters, the wokesters, the blackity black, pro-black, and really a lot of your white liberals, because I'm reading some of the comments on that particular video. And of course, this will be in the description so you can also read the comments for yourself. But a lot of black folks are supporting what he's saying. Not all, but a lot. A lot of your more liberal whites are going and trying to fight against him, talking about, well, he was not saying the right thing. They asked him the question again so he can give the right answer, but he didn't do it. You see what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing I get a lot. I get that a whole lot. So then when I hear things like, oh, well, you're saying things like that as a black person to try and appeal to white people, it's like, well, what white people talking about? We're talking about conservatives or liberals. We're talking about those that are racist or those that are not racist. You can't just cast an entire race with a broad brush, because as far as the black community, we don't like when we're casting with a broad brush with negative things, with positive things or things we consider quote unquote black culture. We like that then, but then when it comes to criminality and whatnot, and all of a sudden that's a problem when we cast it with a broad brush. But anything else positive, then it's cool. But different story. I digress. The whole point is that you can't just say, oh, because you're this race, you must think that way, act that way, talk that way, walk that way. Because that kind of mentality is what keeps people in the box to begin with. It's what makes the whole idea of a black head coach taboo to begin with. When you keep talking about it, you keep making it be a big thing, that is an issue. Now, let me go back a little bit to the NFL and their history. You see, if you guys don't know, there's a rule in the NFL called the Rooney Rule. Now, the Rooney Rule states that every team must interview at least one black person for the head coaching position, and also for other like leadership front office roles. And I think the way it is now, it's like you got to interview at least 2 for the head coach. If I'm wrong about that, y'all let me know in the comments below. But that rule's been there since, I think, 2003. And it came from, I believe, Art Rooney or the Rooney family, who own the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's why Mike Tomlin is mentioned, because number one, he's one of the only black head coaches. Number two, he's been on the Steelers since, I think, 2003 as the head coach. And he probably would never get fired, because if he gets fired, then what does that mean for the Rooney Rule? It doesn't make any sense for the team that started the rule to no longer have it themselves. But different story. Anyway, since 2003, there's been like the same number of black head coaches in the league. I think like 3 or 4 head coaches. You had Tony Dungy and guys like that have pretty much been consistent. So they're saying there's been no progress. But look, who really cares? I don't really care about that. The NFL, like I was saying earlier, is disproportionately black when you're talking about the on-the-field positions, okay? That's just what it is. And many years ago, you didn't really have any black quarterbacks. You had a handful, but it wasn't that many. But now you got quite a few. You got Kyler Murray. You got Russell Wilson. What's some man's name in Baltimore? Y'all know what I'm talking about. There's quite a few black quarterbacks in the league, position players. As far as the population of black men to NFL players, it's not even, you got like what, 13% of the male population that's black in America. Like 65% of the NFL is black. So it's like, I mean, come on. It's kind of silly. Nobody says that's racist, but then when the lack of black head coaches exists, then that's racist. Just like nobody says it's heightist when 60% of CEOs are above 6 foot tall, despite men that are above 6 foot tall only being 15% of the population. At a certain point, we can't just have all these things where you want to cry and whine and complain and try to make things be about racial injustice and make it be some kind of protest. Look, either just get better at what you do or don't. But don't make it be a race thing. That makes it worse. And if you really want to see change, if you really want to see more black head coaches in the NFL, if that's your objective, I don't really particularly care. I say, hey, you do whatever you can do. You start something for yourself. You make a way for yourself. You get money on your own. I'm not really worried about trying to force myself into an industry just because of my skin color. Okay, let me just be available. If you want to hire me, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool. I'm gonna get money regardless. That shouldn't, the race thing shouldn't really be the focus. But if you want it to be a focus, you can't achieve it by making it be a focus, if you understand what I'm saying. Meaning you can't be talking like this. Oh, there's not enough black head coaches. What are we going to do? We got to find this team and we got to find that team. That's not going to get your goal accomplished any faster. Okay. But what it end up happening is you get unqualified people, and then the team is going to suffer as a result. Then it's going to make the whole idea of a black head coach look ridiculous, because they're going to keep failing. You're going to put them on these floundering teams, bad front offices that are just putting people in there for optics and things of that nature. It's not going to be a good situation. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to Todd Bowles for giving the correct answer. It's like, look, man, I don't care nothing about the race stuff. You guys making it a big deal. I'm just here. I'm just a head coach. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. I'm not really worried about too much anything else. That should be how we go forward with anything. It doesn't matter what the job is, if you're an entrepreneur or whatever the case. You just do a good job and let that speak for itself. All the race stuff, the sooner we get away from focusing on that, the sooner it becomes less of a thing in society, in my humble opinion. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what Todd Bowles said? Do you think he's correct, incorrect? Whatever your thoughts are, y'all let me know in the comments below. You guys should know where I'm at. That is a correct way to handle these woke reporters, these woke stirs in general, woke people all over the place. That's how you handle it. Right there. That was the perfect answer. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share. and subscribe. Peace.